Hello guys, welcome to the video. Good morning, good day. Today is January the 20th, Inauguration Day. I'm not going to get too much into it because I'm not political. So today I kind of just did a little road trip to a store that I've been wanting to go to for a very long time. And so I just wanted to make a little road trip vlog. I've already gone out of the store. I didn't want to film there because I need directions and I don't know where the hell I'm going. So right now what I'm gonna do is start heading out. Yeah, so I'll explain more on the way. See you guys then. Okay, now that I know where I'm going, I can now continue this vlog. Okay, so the reason why I wanted to start vlogging or recording is because I wanted to do something a little fun, and whenever I go on like little errands, or if they're like, if this guy can move over, that would be nice. Anyways, so whenever I always take like long little errands, like go out to the valley to go drop something off because one of my older sisters lives in the valley now, or do other things, I like to just think of concepts in my head that I can discuss while I drive, so I can like pass the time and that I don't feel bored. And so I thought, while I'm thinking about stuff, why don't I just do like little vlogs or little podcasts, if you will, and just talk, and then it'll make really good content out of it. So the place that I just headed from was a place I've been wanting to go to since I was a little kid. It's called the Original Train Whistle Stop, or Whistle Stop Train Store. And that kind of tells that you know that I love trains. And if you are one of those people that bash people or make fun of elderly people for loving trains, or guys who love trains, you can go stick your head in a bowl of sand or some dark place, because you shouldn't hate the hobby unless you try it. Because I've seen people where they hate it so much, but then when they try it, they're like, oh my god, this is really fun, and I can see why people are into this. So try it before you hate it. Anyways, so I went there because I live near LAX. That's all you need to know. And near LAX there was this place called Allied Mall Trains, which was at the time my local train store. And my dad and I used to go there all the time to look around and to buy stuff, because it was a fun store and the people there were very nice. But then, long story short, they moved and then they closed. And after they closed, most of their stuff went to sort of their, I would kind of think, partners, which were the other two train stores, but one was in Burbank and one was in Pasadena. The one in Burbank is called Train Shack, which is now my local train store. Even though I still live near LAX, I consider it my local train store because it's the only train store close enough where it's an easy drive for me to go to. And then this one they just got from, called Whistle Stop. And out of coming out of the train store, it was really nice. It is kind of like the same layout. If anyone knows Train Shack, it's kind of like the same kind of like little location. It's hidden like behind a tree and on the side of the street. And I just love those type of train stores because it's very ominous and very inviting. And also I really like the layout, because whenever I go to train stores, the one thing that I immediately go and look at is their hobby or their store layout. And their store layout is amazing, because it kind of resembles what I'm trying to do on my HO scale layout back home, which is a nice wooded area in the middle of the forest. And I'm going to move over because this Tesla's being very, very impatient. So anyways, so this train store is very nice. If you live in the Pasadena area, I highly suggest you go check this place out. It's a very cool store. I'm not being sponsored by this place or anything. I just wanted to go because I thought it would be a really good adventure. And I don't start my college spring semester until February 16th, so I have a lot of time on my hands to do stuff like this, like start my YouTube channel and do other fun stuff. So if you guys ever want me to like go anywhere that is kind of like in my area, like I really love train stuff, and then also I am really trying to get into another hobby, which is Pokemon card collecting. I know that sounds very weird, but I've always pushed it away, and I've never really understood Pokemon until I saw how fun it is to just collect the cards. And so I got into it, and I thought it was pretty cool. So if you guys ever want to suggest that, then go ahead. But one thing I kind of want to discuss is if you ever think about getting into trained hobby, first, let me backtrack for a second. So first off, whenever you get into a hobby, make sure you have a budget, because that's how I got into this hobby, because I love the nostalgia of it. I kind of cut out for a bit, but I'm back. So in mall railroading, there are a bunch of gauges. And this is what will be my discussion for this trip, is mall railroading, because just to get out of the way. So if you want to get into the hobby, here how it goes. So first off, you're going to have to know what gauge you want to go into. And each gauge kind of has its own kind of price range in a way, and its own likes and dislikes. I'm going to go by like the normal gauges. I'm not going to go by like all the gauges, because that would take forever, and we don't really have that long of a drive. So first off, we're going to talk about G gauge. G gauge is what I think is called the garden scale, which is a little big, and you normally see them in like when you go to like gardens, like if you go to the Pomona Fairgrounds, and you see that little train layout, that's G gauge. It's normally very big, normally used in a garden, hence the name G gauge. And then after G gauge, there's O gauge, which normally you see O gauge around like a Christmas tree or at any like events. And O gauge, you can normally identify O gauge by the 3 tracks that it has: 2 on the outside, 1 on the middle. And the one in the middle is how the train gets its power. I forgot to mention G gauge, they get its power from certain ways. There's either by batteries. I've seen a couple of G gauge locomotives where they have a battery and they just run on it until it dies, or by electricity, where they attach electrical outlets to the track and they have a remote, or from a gauge update that uses the same G gauge track is the 1-inch scalers, which those steam engines I really want to get into, because they use something, some of them have live boilers in them, which I think is sick, but it's really expensive. I think one locomotive, like a steam locomotive in the 1-inch gauge / G gauge, is about $1,000. So that's very expensive for me as a college student. And then O gauge, I got O gauge locomotives now can run you between, from a cheap perspective, I would say between 200 to 300. That's kind of a good price range. I know that there's some sets that are like $150, but that's for the beginners. But if you are already in the hobby, but that's how much. But if you are getting to like ultimate detail, those locomotives will run you like $1,000 to like $2,000, and that's just insane. Okay, and then besides the point, after that, there's ON30, which is paired up with HO. ON30, it runs on HO track, but it's a little bigger. And normally, the types of locomotives that you'll see in ON30 are mainly like narrow gauge locomotives, so like locomotives that you see on, like, let's say the Disney Railroad. That is the type of locomotives that'll be modeled in the ON30. And then HO, that's just O gauge, just a little smaller. And then HO, I think, is like the perfect gauge. A bunch of people will kind of say it. It's the perfect gauge because a bunch of pre-owned locomotives, like, or if you think about just getting pre-owned to brand new, are very cheap. It's like, if you look on eBay or Mercari or anywhere, there are HO gauge locomotives everywhere, like everywhere. So that's the gauge that I have currently as a layout. And I'll explain in another video how I have the layout, and I'll do a tour about my layout. Then after HO gauge, there is Z gauge, which is a little smaller, kind of not a good choice to go for if you're going for your first model train, because it's very small and it's very intricate. And then there's the smallest of the small, which is N gauge, which I do not know how people deal with this gauge. It is so small. Like, how do they get it on the track? How, like, some of these, they have sound units in them and lights and everything. And these little tiny little locomotives, like when I go to my train store again, I'll film the different scales again, but so that you have like an idea of how of the gauges. And then I'll talk about then I'm going to talk about what my gauges are. So the two gauges I have right now are O gauge, which I got from my dad, which was actually a Christmas present they got as a kid, and they passed it down to me. So that was kind of like my first introduction to model railroading was O gauge. And then after that was HO, which my parents, they found a set at an antique store and they thought I wanted it, so they got it. And then it started building up from there. I started getting more into HO because of how cheap it is. And then my layout, I'll do a tour of it in a separate video, but my layout I actually got from my train club. And my train club is located in Griffith Park. They put it in an ad, and it was a 4x8 layout with like a tunnel, not a tunnel, a couple hills and a bunch of other stuff for $100. And what my parents do is every year for our birthdays, instead of getting us a gift or anything like that, they take us out to dinner. And normally I like going to this place. If any one of you guys lives near Whittier or any in there, you've ever been to Clearman's? That's the place I normally go to for my birthday dinner. On a second. And Clearman's normally is a very expensive dinner, so I opted out my dinner for this layout. So my dad basically gave me the $100. I drove down to my layout, and I picked up the train layout. And this layout is in DC. So with different HO gauge and in other gauges, there are different types of powers that come with it. So there's DC and then there's DCC for HO. I think in other scales they're about the same, but more or less it's either DC or DCC. DC is the basic transformer, you plug it in, just the simple stuff. You add power and it'll go. Whereas DCC, in more or less in the shorter terms, DCC is I'll say the bougie version, or the very fancy version of an HO scale train. Because DCC, it acts more realistic, I'll say that. So this is how I'll compare it. DC is the very basic norm, and then DCC is the realistic scale, because DCC you can operate multiple locomotives and have certain locomotives stopped. So anywho, that was my talk. So how are you guys doing? Are you guys having a good Wednesday? Hopefully you guys are enjoying the inauguration. I don't know. I don't want to get too political because I don't want to separate viewers from other viewers. I know it's kind of a little shaky because I'm still getting to this old YouTube thing still, so I'm using the phone at the moment. Oh my god, that was horrible. But I hope you guys like these videos. If you guys like this video, let me know. I might do some more whenever I go on outings. I'll call them outing vlogs, where I just drive and talk about something. And it's just a good little vlog. Anyways, that is the trip. That's a good 24-minute trip right there. So anyways, I hope you guys love this video. If you liked it, please comment down below. Let me know where else you guys would love me to drive to. I live in LAX area. If you want me to go to San Monica and just drive to it, just do a little conversation or anything, just let me know. So subscribe, hit that like button, and if you want to, hit the bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a video. And with that said, thank you guys so much for being here. This is a lot of fun. I can't wait to do more. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Hey guys, I know it's a couple minutes later, but I just wanted to do like a little video showing you what I bought. I didn't really buy too much. I got two little vehicles from this company called Mini Metals. Mini Metals is a very well-known company that makes really high-quality looking vehicles for your layout. And I just want to show you very quickly because I thought it'd be a kind of good little tidbit at the end. So here we go. So this is what I bought. I got just a little 47 Chevy pickup, which I thought would look kind of great because I have this little gas station on my layout, and I really wanted like a little pickup truck next to it. So I thought it'd be kind kind of cool to put on. And then I got this really cool old-fashioned semi-truck, which I thought is pretty awesome. There were 2 variants of like paint schemes. There is this white/black variant, and then I got this one, which is the Railroad Express Agency. I've been looking at this paint scheme for a very long time because of the design that's on the trailer. It says Railway Express Agency. I don't really know too much about it. I just really love the design because it's very old-fashioned, very 40s, 50s design, and I just really loved it. And I just really wanted just to show you guys because I knew that you guys were probably a little interested in what I bought. So I didn't buy too much because I just wanted it to just be a quick in and out, really quick exploration video. And I hope you guys liked it, and I'll put some pictures at the end of this little segment to show you what the inside look. I only took like a couple of photos, so I hope you guys enjoy them. And thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.